Good morning, friends. It's here. I don't know what I'm saying. So welcome back to my channel. It's Megan, if you didn't already know. I was kind of going back through and reflecting on which of my videos did the best, and one of them that always really popped off was a 24-hour readathon. And if you know me, I need sleep, so 24-hour readathons typically don't go that well for me. I decided I'm gonna try again today. We're gonna see how it goes. I have several books that I have on the docket that I'd like to get to. I have a few audiobooks, a few physical books, I have some books for review. I've just got a lot to choose from, so I wanted to share my potentials with you, not necessarily my TBR. I mean, they're all on my TBR, but kind of my goals. I don't even know if I want to say goals, because these are just books I might choose from and not necessarily exactly what I'm going to be reading today. Just some options for me to like pick and choose from, and I'm gonna try to read as much as I can in 24 hours. I do have a volunteer time later today, so I'll be taking a couple hours to go do that, but I can listen to the audiobook on my way to the volunteering, and I'll show you guys what I'm doing. It's a pretty fun little volunteer gig. I can like listen to the audiobook on the way back. Any other plans I have for today were kind of like, didn't really have anything. Anthony had an Achilles surgery on Thursday, so I'm kind of just sticking around the house so that I can be there if he needs me. Also, if you didn't see on my story, Am I a Terrible Girlfriend? This is the book I took to read while he was in surgery. The nurse laughed when I showed him, and his stepdad laughed. Like, I think we all find it funny. I think Anthony finds it funny too, but if not, he's putting up with my poor humor. So I don't know, humor is just how I deal with things. So I guess this is one of the potential books I could continue reading. I only made it to like a few chapters in, so not very far, because most of the time I did try to like work, because I took a long time off the past 2 weeks due to my grandpa passing. So I've just been kind of off work, and I honestly feel like I need a break from my time off, because it has not been a break, let me tell you. So we're using today as the break, even though some people wouldn't necessarily deem recording a video and doing like a reading challenge as necessarily a break. I really enjoy reading, so it's therapeutic to me. So today we're going to do an at-home wellness day by doing a 24-hour reading challenge and not sleeping. I probably will sleep, but I'm gonna try to sleep as little as possible. And Anthony didn't go to bed till 6 a.m. so he's down for the count all morning, so I shouldn't bother him by like talking and everything. So I'm looking forward to it. But now that I've sufficiently rambled on for almost 4 minutes, let me get to the actual TBR that I said I was gonna share with you guys. My main focus today will probably be audiobooks, because my parents have an antique store booth where they sell so many different things, but they do have like a section for puzzles, and I have a giant box of puzzles to complete and make sure all the pieces are there before they sell them, because we just get them at like yard sales or estate sales or auctions or that kind of thing. So my dad gave me a huge box full of puzzles because I love puzzles. So I'm gonna listen to a few audiobooks while I do that. I'm currently listening to and Santi. We're here. I'm about halfway through. I think I have like 2-ish hours left, because I'm listening at like 2.5 speed, because I don't know why this narrator just like, for some reason in my head it feels like they're reading slower than most. I normally only go up to like 1.75 2 times speed. 2 times speed is probably my most frequent, but I'm at like 2.5 or 2.75 with this one, because it just feels like the audio narrator is just reading so slow. So I really only have, even though there's like 5 hours left, I think I only have like 2-ish hours left. So this will be my first goal to finish today. And then I have Other Words for Home. This is a middle grade. It looks very easy to read. I mean, like, there's hardly any words on these pages, but it's only a 4-hour audiobook, so at 2 times speed it'll only take 2 hours. And then I also have this one called Dangerous Alliance, which is supposed to be a Jane Austen-ish retelling. I don't know if it's a specific retelling of like Emma or Pride and Prejudice or Mansfield Park, but I think it's just like the general vibes of Jane Austen. Actually, I'm reading on the back, it points out Pride and Prejudice, so maybe it is a Pride and Prejudice retelling. Speaking of Pride and Prejudice, I have Pride and Prejudice here. I've actually never read a Jane Austen novel, so I really want to read this, and then I've never even seen the movie. I have no idea what this is about. I just know there's a Mr. Darcy somewhere. I don't know if it's in this book or if it's in Jane Eyre, who's not even the same author. I know there's a Mr. Darcy somewhere. Yeah, I want to read this book, and because I have 3 books on my TBR for August that are Pride and Prejudice retellings, and I've never read Pride and Prejudice, so I want to read this before I get to those retellings, because I want to know like what the original source material was. So I plan to pick up some of this. I probably won't finish it today, but I do want to start it, maybe get to like page 100. I feel like that's a good goal, especially since it's a classic. I feel like it's going to be like a little bit denser, heavier to get through. I could be completely wrong. I thought the same thing about Bridgerton, and it's like some of the easiest books to read. And then I might skip this one and go to the next audiobook that I have checked out from the library until I finish Pride and Prejudice. We have Under and Santi, Other Words for Home, and Pride and Prejudice. I also want to read some more of Kingsbane. I'm rereading this in anticipation of reading Lightbringer. I've read The Furyborn, Kingsbane, and Queen of the Blazing Throne, which is the like companion short story of the series, but I haven't read Lightbringer yet, and so I wanted to reread these books to remind myself of everything that happened, because recaps to me just don't always like flesh out all the details that I like to pick up on. So I'm rereading Kingsbane. I'm currently on page 116 of this. There's roughly 600 pages, so I'd love to make it like to 300 or 400 pages just to get like a good chunk into this. Then I have Bonesmith. If you've been following along, I'm doing a read along of Bonesmith, so I want to read the next section of chapters for this week's live show, which would be chapters 10 through 18. So that's only 8 chapters, should not take long at all. I am annotating it, so it'll take like slightly longer than normal to read those 8 chapters, but overall this should be sufficiently easy to complete in this 24-hour period as those 8 chapters. I also have a few books for review that I could choose from. They've been sitting on my shelf for a while, so I should probably get to them. We have Lumen by Elizabeth Weiser, A Star Named Vega by Benjamin J. Roberts, Relic and Ruin by Wendy McIver, and How to Be the Best Third Wheel by Lordy Devia. I wouldn't pick up all 4, but I might pick up one of them just to get one off of my very tedious books for review list here. I'm trying to not request any more books for review until I get my current list under control. It's only about 20, so it's really not that bad, but I don't like having outstanding projects or so, like whatever you would call it. So I want to get to those soon, and they're all fairly like short, so I could probably get to one. Alternatively, oh my gosh, I don't even know what word I just said. Alternatively, I have Kingdom Keepers, which I spun for and did a randomize my TBR for the TBR game this month, and so I need to get to Kingdom Keepers number 3 as well. I did start it this morning, but I've only read 1 chapter so far, so it's about 300 or 400 pages, I think. Oh, it's actually almost 500. Wow. So I probably won't finish this, but I would like to read some of this today. And then speaking of my TBR game, I definitely could finish this one. This is what my dad picked because I spun for Dad's Choice, so I can definitely finish this one today. I definitely anticipate finishing 4 books. Not, well, I shouldn't say finishing. I definitely anticipate finishing these 3, which is the graphic novel, Onder and Santi, and Other Words for Home. Those will be no problem, no sweat. I also definitely anticipate finishing my 8 chapters for the read-along. But otherwise, we'll just kind of see where the day takes us from here. I might read more audiobooks. I might pick up one of these physical books. I started off the day tired, so I'm gonna try to grab an energy drink or something just to kind of wake myself up. But yeah, like without further ado, I think I'm going to try to finish Onder and Santi right now for the next 2 hours, get that completed. It's 9:40. I'm gonna start reading now, but I'm gonna officially start the read along or 24-hour readathon at 10 a.m. and then end it at 10 a.m. So I'll start reading now, but I'm not gonna like, I don't know. I know what I'm saying, but I'll check in at 10 in about 20 minutes and officially start. Just because I want to like prep a little bit and get my area situated and everything, maybe make some breakfast, and then we will get started. So I'll check in with you at 10 a.m. Okay, so I have 3 hours and 3 minutes left of Onder and Santi. We're here and I'm planning to pull out one of these puzzles and start working on that while I finish this. Should take about a little over an hour to finish that. So I will check in with you guys when I get that one complete and let you know my thoughts. Sorry for the messy background here, but I wanted to show you guys some of the options for puzzles I have. So these ones we got at a yard sale not that long ago. We have this like pet store, which is super cute, lots of dogs in the window. We've got this hidden garden, almost secret garden-esque. It's got bunnies and birds and a fountain in it. And then we have this like meadow picnic is the name of it, and it's like a little park with like a puppy picnic going on, which is super cute. Again, I'm just doing these for making sure that all the pieces are in the puzzles. I also have a giant box here. So here's one, it's a panorama. It looks like it might be like around the world panorama, which is cool. Then we have a Christmas panorama one. We've got Santa. I think I'm gonna record like putting these together and then put them up on YouTube with like relaxing music underneath for like kind of a vibe of a video. We've got the alphabet shop. Another Christmas one, holiday collection. This one is a train with like an Oldsmobile, just like a cute little cottage. This one looks like it might be like a Venice type town because there's like a little canal here. This huge Christmas one, Hopeful Farm. It's like a little reindeer, or not reindeer, like a little horse-drawn sleigh, and then we've got cupcakes. So let's see, I want to do one of the bigger ones first so they're not taking up, like I want to get them done first so I have more space. So I think I'm gonna do either cupcakes or the, I think we'll do cupcakes. It's like the one I'm probably least excited about, I think. It looks like it might be somewhat easy to finish as well. So we'll do some cupcakes while I listen to Onder and Santi. I am having a super healthy and super nutritious and makes sense breakfast. We're having a grilled chicken burrito. I love these Red's burritos. I eat them all the time. They take like 2 minutes to heat up in the mic. I have one going right now and I adore them. And then I'm going to make a side of homemade nachos. Did you guys ever do this? What do they call it? Like hold on, microwave's about to beep. I don't want it to be annoying. Alright, so have you seen the thing where it's like, were you a meal house or an ingredient house? And I feel like this is just me being an ingredient house, so I'm gonna place some of these tortilla chips on a plate and sprinkle cheese on top and have homemade nachos. Anyone else make these? Or is it just... Excuse me, sir. Do you have something to say? Tell us all about it, Domino. What you got to say? What do you want to say? Oh, you want to be quiet now? He probably thinks this camera is food. Anywho, I'm gonna whip up some nachos here and have breakfast. Woohoo! Ah, yes. The peak of culinary artistry right here. I do love my beige foods, that's for sure. Okay, so I just finished book number 1. Ander and Santi were here. This one was super cute. It was about a family-owned little Mexican restaurant or cafe, whatever you want to call it. It's like a taco shop. And our main character, Ander works here. Ander identifies as non-binary and they are an artist. Their family kind of says that they can't work at this family shop anymore because they want them to like pursue their artistry and do things that will make them happy. And they one day start to notice their replacement, which is Santiago, and Ander and Santi fall in love. And there's a lot of talk about like deportation and like illegal immigration and just what it means to like be human, and I really enjoyed it. So now that that one is done, I'm going to be picking up my copy of Bonesmith to read my 8 chapters that are next. And I have my little annotation kit here, if I can pick it up. I've got my little tabs and my little pen that doesn't bleed through pages. So I'm gonna go ahead and read this. Okay, so it's been, let me adjust this real quick actually. Ooh, that was almost bad. Ooh. So it's been a hot second since I checked in. I did read my 8 chapters of Bonesmith, but I did several other things in the meantime. I was rewatching or like watching some of the videos that Anthony edited. I was making thumbnails for my YouTube videos. I was eating lunch and I watched the 100. I took a 20-minute nap because I just could not exist anymore. I was so tired. I've been up since like 5:36 a.m. And I did read a little bit of Other Words for Home, about 20 minutes of that. So yeah, I read my 8 chapters of Bonesmith though. Loving this as always. It's a reread for me because I actually got the manuscript of this, so it's super fun to like read this. I tabbed a few of my favorite parts so far, but most of my annotations I've just been writing like right in the book itself. Normally I have tons more tabs when I annotate, but in this one I actually just wrote right in the book. I normally write like on a post-it, but one of my favorite scenes is, or quotes is, he didn't know if he could properly flirt with a sack on his head, but if anyone could do it, it was him. If that doesn't entice you to read Bonesmith, I don't know what will. But I really, really love this book, and I'm happy I finished my portion for the read-along. And we will, I'm gonna probably try to finish this next. I have about an hour until I need to leave for volunteering, and I don't know how long I'll be at volunteering. I'm hoping it's only gonna be a couple hours, like 2 or 3, but it might go later. I just don't know how long it's gonna take, but I'm hoping it starts at 5:45. I'm hoping I'll be home by like 8:30. We'll see. And then after I get back from volunteering, I need to take Anthony over to his parents' house to shower because they have a huge shower he can like sit down in with his cast. So that's the plan for the rest of the evening. I'm hoping to finish this And then I'm going to start The Imposters, I think. This is by Scott Westerfield, the same author who wrote The Uglies, and it's another dystopian novel. After I finish this on audio, this will be my next audio venture there. I do plan to still finish this tonight as well, Wonder Woman Warbringer. So these 3 are the goal for tonight, and if I make it through those 3, I'm going to read one of these 2. We'll see which one I'm feeling and see how far I get, and then we'll see what the night holds, how long I can stay up. We'll just go from there. So I'll keep checking in with you. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm gonna go read Other Words for Home while I make dinner before volunteering and get ready. It's currently 4 o'clock, so I need to eat something before I go volunteer because I don't think they're gonna have food, and I need to change and then head out. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, so I'm back home now from the volunteering. I was walking dogs and like handling dogs for the local animal shelter, and we were at a baseball game doing that, so that was a lot of fun. And we had 2 dogs named Clyde and Arthur, and they were so cute. I went to Target afterwards and picked up some energy drinks for Anthony, and my friend Leah and I were looking at Barbie dolls because there's like that TikTok trend of the comfort Barbie going around, but I just couldn't bring myself to spend $20 on a Barbie doll right now. But I did finish Other Words for Home on my drive. This one was super cute. It's a middle grade, and it's about a girl from Syria whose mom and her kind of fled the war to her uncle's house in Cincinnati, Ohio. She's just learning the intricacies of being an American now and being a middle school American, but also like holding on to her Syrian roots and Arabic roots. It was super cute. Definitely think that this is a good little read, especially if you have a younger kid that you're trying to explain the culture or like the idea of different cultures to. I think this is a good one. Glad I finished this. And now I think I'm going to read some Wonder Woman Warbringer. I think I'm gonna read this while I charge my phone because it's at 23%. It's 9:30, so we have roughly 12 and a half hours left of the readathon. We're halfway through the readathon, and we've finished 2 books, and we've finished the 8 chapters of Bonesmith. So not like super good so far, but I'm still pleased for the most part with where we're at. But I'm gonna read this now and finish our 3rd book. Then we will see where my phone's at. I might start the Imposters audiobook, or I might pick up Pride and Prejudice or Kingsbane. We'll just kind of see where I'm at. Let's do Wonder Woman Warbringer, and I'll check in with you guys after this. Good morning. I am so bad at staying up. Oh my gosh, I'm such a grandma. I literally couldn't do it. Like, I was just reading and then I was out, and I didn't set an alarm, so I just kind of fell asleep and then woke up and it was morning. That's where we're at. I did finish Wonder Woman, so I will give myself credit for that. I finished that. And then I started Pride and Prejudice, and this is when I started getting tired. So I lay down on the floor and I set an alarm for 20 minutes, and I woke up and I was like, oh, I feel rejuvenated. That was around like 10:30, 11. I read like 4 or 5 chapters of Pride and Prejudice. It's a little dense. It was making me tired. So I was like, all right, we're not gonna read any more Pride and Prejudice tonight because it's gonna knock me out. So I picked up my audiobook hoping that would keep me up, and I made it about an hour into this and I was just out, and it kept going while I fell asleep. So I fell asleep probably around 11:30, 12. I woke up at like 1 and it was still going, so I had to like backtrack to where I had left off, or like figure out where I had left off. It's now 8:30. I just woke up and I'm going to cheat a little bit and we're gonna count this as like 24 hours of being like how much I can read in the 24 hours I'm awake. And I won't give myself like the full 8 hours. We'll say, or 9 hours, whatever it was that I was asleep. We'll do 7. So it's 8:30 now. We're gonna see how much I can read today until 3 o'clock. I'm going to probably start with either Kingdom Keepers or Kingsbane, or start with my audiobook just to like ease into the day. Maybe while I get like just adjusted to being awake. But that is the plan for now. So I have roughly a little less than 7 hours to see how much I can read today. But just to recap of yesterday, I did finish Onder and Santi, Other Words for Home, Wonder Woman, my section in Bonesmith, and a couple of chapters of Pride and Prejudice, and a couple chapters of Imposters. So I think it was a pretty good day overall, but we're gonna make it better today. So sorry I'm cheating a little bit, but it's still within like the 24 hours I'm awake, so I think it still counts. I don't know. All right, I'll see you guys in a bit. So it is now 9:40. It's been about an hour. I made it to part 2 of the book here. I don't know what chapter that is because there's no chapter numbers on the like audiobook, or there's actually no chapter numbers in the book either. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, it was close to this. Okay, so part 2, which is page 142. So we're about like 35% of the way in. So that is where I'm at in Imposters. I do think that it would be helpful. I don't think it's required, but I do think it would be helpful to read the Ugly series prior to this, because they mention the Pretty regime a lot, which I know is part of like the Uglies series, and I have not read the Ugly series yet, so I hope I'm not missing like crucial information. They just seem to like mention it as part of history, so I don't think I'm missing anything yet, but I also hope I don't spoil myself. That's where we're at with Imposters. I think I'm going to try to read Kingdom Keepers 3 and just power through this today, because I think I can finish this before 3 o'clock. So I think that's my goal for today. I was debating whether to do Pride and Prejudice or Kingsbane. I might read some of Kingsbane because I still want to get to page like 300, which would be 200 pages from here. But I think my main goal is going to be trying to finish Kingdom Keepers here. So we'll see how that goes. Between these two, I'd like to finish, and we'll go from there. Hi friends, yes, I'm in yet another outfit, and I just wanted to wrap up this 24-hour readathon. I'm looking for my phone so I can show you what time it is. It's like 3:03 or something like that. It's just a little bit after 3, but I wanted to wrap up for you what I read in this 24-hour readathon. It has been all over the place. I got so distracted by so many things, but I'm fairly proud of what we got done. We finished 4 books, and then we read from 1, 2, 3 other books. I think that's pretty good. We started with Onder and Santi. We're here. Finished this one, and this one is so cute, and I love the sprayed edges on it in particular. Aren't those really cool? We finished Other Words for Home. We finished The Imposters by Scott Westerfield, and we finished Wonder Woman Warbringer. So I did finish 4 books for sure, which is awesome. 3 of these were audiobook, and then 1 was my graphic novel. Then I did finish my section for the Bonesmith Readathon, which is the chapters 10 through 18. So I got that done. I read about 150 pages into Kingdom Keepers 3. I was going to try to power through this, but then I decided to clean up around the apartment a little, which is how I was able to finish The Imposters instead. I just put on an audiobook while I was cleaning, and then I read 3 to 5, I forget how many chapters, of Pride and Prejudice. So here is what I did read, and then I also read a little bit into the sequel of Imposters, which is Shatter City, I believe, on audiobook as well. I think we had a pretty good 24-hour readathon overall, even though I didn't finish every book. We read in 7 books. 7? Yeah, 8 books. We read in 8 books. These plus the one I don't own. So a pretty good little 24-hour readathon. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I would love to get back into vlogging more. I just need to get better about showing what I'm doing. I get so distracted and so sucked into the reading that I always forget to do like check-ins or like show me setting up my little space to read or so on and so forth. So I'm trying to get better about it, but I hope you guys enjoyed this 24-hour readathon. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll check you in my next video. Bye, friends.